Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Hubsan H002 Q4 Cam Plus Nano quadcopter. Pretty cool little nano quadcopter. I really like this thing. It flies exceptionally well. Let's get a little closer to the camera so you can see it. It has a standard definition camera in the front that records to an SD card, MicroSD card that you insert into the side. Now it does not come with a MicroSD card, so you do need to provide your own. It records just in standard definition, but you know, it's adequate for a drone of this size. You're not going to expect anything too fancy in terms of video. It has little LEDs here next to the motors on the sides. The LEDs are red in the back, and they're blue up here in the front. It does, when you record and video and take pictures, then the lights do flash in the back, so the red will flash in the back when you're recording, and when you take a picture it just flashes one time. So this is just a really good quadcopter. I just really like it a lot. I mean, even the box that it comes with, I mean, you wouldn't typically care too much about the packaging, but the box is just really nice, informative, you know, some information on it, but just really well packaged. So when it arrived in the mail, it was all in good shape because it's really nice, sturdy package that it comes in. So that's always a plus, because sometimes the packaging can be a little, you know, not the best. So, you know, it protects the quadcopter good when it comes in the mail. Let's see here. Let's go over the controller. Now it has one of these pretty standard little nano controllers. Not very large, so you know it is a little small in your hands if you're an adult. So you know, that's something to keep in mind, but it's identical to the Cheerson CX10 Nano quadcopter controllers. I mean, it looks identical. I put them side by side. So, but you know, otherwise, you know, it works fine, especially if you're a thumb flyer. I think it worked for a pinch or two. But the flight, using the sticks to fly and everything is just like you would expect with any other quadcopter, but the extra controls, as you could say, are a little bit unique. So you have to, you know, look those instruction manuals over when you get it and make sure you really get it down, because it doesn't use, you know, like your standard what you expect for you know, calibrating and things like that. So let's go over those controls. Excuse me. To enter into headless mode, you do a quick press with the left stick, and that's going to make the lights start to blink. I believe on the front, the blue lights start to flash, and that means you're in headless mode. If you do a quick press of the right stick, then that changes your rates. Now, when you change it into, it has two rates. It has a, you know, a low and a high, and when you enter into high, then it does get more pitch. It's a lot spoiler to fly, and the yaw does increase. So it's quick, but it doesn't spin terribly fast. It's just about right on the yaw. So that's how you change the rates. Just a quick press on the right. A long press on the left stick, that will enter it into 3D flips mode. And you have to be careful. You press that down and make sure you hold it, otherwise you're going to enter yourself into headless mode. So I've done that a few times, but it's simple enough to exit out. You just tap it again and it exits out of headless mode. A long press on the right stick will take a photo, and then the rear lights will flash once, and then the photo's been taken and saves the card. To begin recording video, you actually would press down what would normally be the pitched roll trim, and that will start to record, and then the rear lights will flash the entire time that you are filming. I believe that the throttle trim here is still just a throttle trim, though I haven't messed with that. To do a calibration, it's a bit odd. Typically with these you would expect to do something like a down and out, or you know, down in and up and you know, in, or something like that. But it's a little odd. You do down and right with the left stick, and you take the right stick and you wiggle it back and forth, and then you do that a few times, and all the lights on the quadcopter will start to flash, and then you know you've got it calibrated. So that can be a little tricky, because when you got it bound and then you try to push this down right, and to do that it can start to spin up the props, and then it can kind of spin a little on you, but it's never really caused me a problem. I've always gotten to do it as soon as I've done it, but You sometimes just have to work with the stick a little bit to get it in the right position and then wiggle the stick back and forth. But I have no clue why they did this. It just seems like a really bizarre decision when you could just do something like down to the right. I don't know. I don't get that at all. But it works fine. I was getting, in terms of a flight time, I'm getting about 6 minutes and 15 seconds total flight time, which is pretty good flight time. 25 seconds of that was the low voltage cutoff, low voltage alarm. So, you know, but pretty good flight time. I was impressed with the flight time for the Nano. But it's just an extremely good flying quadcopter. It does come with this USB charging cable, and it plugs into the back. And it has, you know, a lot of you've seen this more and more. These have these little tabs that you I would call it, where you plugged it in to charge it rather than have to try to fit it into the body of the quadcopter. You just fit it on this little tab sticking out, and then press and then plug it in. And it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to charge. Not a real long time. I don't know how big the battery is. It's probably 100 milliamp or something like that, but it's all built into it and you can't even see it. So I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't say in the instructions. It also comes with a full spare set of props, so that's always good. That's pretty much all you get. You know, it's not much else to it, but nice. It's probably if they included a MicroSD card, just in case you don't have an extra one lying around. But otherwise, you know, that's pretty much all you're going to get with it. So. Looking at my notes here, pretty much think that pretty much covers it all. There's not much to cover with this thing. All I can say is it is a really, really good flying Nano. So, you know, aside from a little bit of goofy controls with the 3D flips and the headless mode and calibration particularly, it flies wonderful. I mean, I flew it outside. You'll see the flight review, and there's a little bit of a breeze, and it has no problems. So, in terms of flying, I highly recommend this for. Especially for like a starter quadcopter, because it's just so stable and flies so well. So anyway, that covers the table review. Let's go ahead and move along to the flight review. Okay, back now with the flight review of the Hubsan H002, this little camera Nano. Neat little thing. Really, really good flyer. So however I got it bound and get ready to take it up here, use the little controller, just identical like what the Hubsan CX10 uses. The controls for like 3D flips and calibration and changing rates and recording are a little bit unique. So you need to read the instruction manual and test it out, because even the instruction manual seems to almost be like they've written them for mode 1. So you just need to take your time to get those extra controls down. I'm still get them backwards, so I may mess up a little bit here in the flight review. It's only because I'm so used to the controls for like the CX10 and other Nanos, which are a little bit more on the same page with those extra controls. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start recording, which is the pitch roll button. You hold that down and it starts recording. Records to the MicroSD card. It's in. You have to put that in the side. It does not come with a MicroSD card, so you do need to supply your own. So let's go ahead and take it up. It's a really, really good flyer. It's probably the best flying Nano that I have, maybe aside from the JJRC H28 hexacopter Nano, which is really good flyer also. So and that is just in the lowest rate. There's 2 rates. Let's go ahead and see if we can take the rates up. And there's the higher rate. You do a quick press on the right stick, and the yaw increases quite a bit. It's got a lot more pitch. I'm sure this thing's not going to be very easy to see on film, so I'm trying to keep it close. Nice yaw rate, just really, really smooth flying Nano. Comes packaged in a really nice box, the best I've seen for something. You know, Hubsan's a pretty good brand, so it doesn't surprise me. But just really nice Nano. I really, really like it. Let's see if we can do some flips here. Like I said, the controls are a little bit backwards for me, so if I mess it up here, it's just because I'm trying to remember the controls. There we go. You do a long press on the left stick, and that will do your flips. Let's do a forward flip. Flip's really nice. So the yaw does increase with the rates. I like both the rates are fine, but highest rate's a little more sporty, obviously, more pitch. Let's see if we can do some funnels. Let's try that again. And just spinning around there. It's got a pretty good power. I like this little Nano. Really nice Nano. The video I filmed inside, and I don't know how, you know, obviously I've got it going here side by side in this review, but it was not particularly good. But you know, you're not going to expect much from a camera on a Nano. It was had quite a bit of noise, but I was indoors, so I'm hoping this looked better here and much better lighting. Hopefully there's less noise in the video, but it is just standard definition 480. It's not widescreen or anything, but it's still good. Especially it would be good for flying around inside, maybe getting pictures of your cats or animals, or just flying around and getting a little video in your house. But this would be a really good starting out beginning quadcopter for a kid. You know, it's light and crash resistant, and the controller's small, so it would fit in a kid's hands really well. So just a really neat little quadcopter. I really like this because it flies so well. So I think that pretty much wraps everything we need to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording, and the rear lights will blink when you're recording, and those red LEDs stop blinking, so we stop recording. So neat little quadcopter, highly recommend it. So be sure to stay tuned for more reviews, and please subscribe.